Winter is fast approaching, and you know what that means. It's winterization time. Welcome back, Airstream owners. Joe Welch is here with another Colonial Service how-to video. Getting ahead of winterization is crucial because waiting too long could lead to costly repairs. So Flying Cloud owners, follow these steps carefully to ensure your RV is prepared and protected for the cold months ahead. So today on this 2018 Flying Cloud, we actually have a tanked water heater. Typically you're going to see a gray door and it's going to be a Suburban tanked water heater. This is an aftermarket Dometic, but the process is going to be the same. The first step when I'm winterizing is going to be to bypass this tanked water heater and drain it. So the drain's right here as well as my pressure release valve, but we're going to go inside and bypass it before we open up this drain or this pressure release. So we have on this particular model the water heater, the tank itself, underneath the bed on this side of the unit. So I'm going to lift the mattress up and I should be able to locate a panel underneath the mattress. And so this panel is going to lift up. Some later models actually have screws holding this panel down, and you can see where the hot and the cold lines come in and out of the tank. To the right, if we follow the lines, we're going to see a line of PEX and some T-valves, so some directional valves on the top and the bottom. That's actually going to bypass these lines. It's going to tie the tank together. If I just point the valves at each other, and that way the tank is completely out of line and we can drain this guy and never put antifreeze in it. So now joining me back outside, once the tank is bypassed, I want to open the pressure release. Some water is normally going to come out when this is full and pressurized. And then after I've done so, I also want to remove my drain here. And these vary in size. I've had some 15/16, some 3/4. You kind of want to size that with a socket beforehand. And there we go. So I would just let this drain and I'd leave the pressure release open to make sure it drains out quickly. And I honestly would leave it open for the entire winter to make sure that it's not going to freeze any amount of water in the tank. So the next step, now that we've bypassed the water heater and we've drained it, is to access the pump so we can actually start pumping antifreeze into our system here. So on this particular unit, we don't have a winterization valve already installed. So I have a little bit of 1/2-inch clear line, and then I have a fitting that will mate with the pump. So I'm actually going to locate the pump, which on this unit is underneath my closet here behind our little furnace cover. So if I pop this guy open, it's just a J-latch cabinet. I can actually locate the pump screwed to the floor here. And typically what I like to do is feel on both sides of the pump, and when I feel the strainer, which is the filter, so to speak, for our PEX line here, I know that I'm on the in-tank side from the pump. So that's the side I'm going to loosen and take off of the pump and hook my winterization line to. So now that I've connected my clear line to the pump directly, I'm just putting that into my bottle of antifreeze, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pump. In this unit, we have that control right in the kitchen here. And while I'm in the kitchen, I might as well start with my kitchen sink. So pump on, it's going to start pulling from our bottle of antifreeze, and I want to immediately turn on my sink, and it's going to push all the water, the clear, out of the lines, and I'm waiting to see the pink, which is the color of our antifreeze, come out the cold side. So I have the sink on the cold side first. There's our pink antifreeze. So I'm going to go from cold to the hot side, which is bypassed at the water heater, so it's just rerouting from that line. We're chasing the water out. Once it turns pink, I'm shutting the sink off. So on this specific sink, we also have the sprayer for cleaning our dishes. So I just want to make sure that I get antifreeze in here as well. So, perfect. I can shut this guy off and start working towards the back of the coach. So next I'm right at the bath sink, which they leave accessible in the unit. So I'm going to do my left side first, chasing the water out, pulling some antifreeze up. Once I have it nice and pink, I'm going to swap to the other side. So we see some foam here. That's partially because I could go ahead and switch my bottle already. I've already pulled enough antifreeze into the system to need to go ahead and switch to a new bottle. So at any point, if you start pulling air into the system, or if you start to see what I saw here, just take a look and see if you need to swap real quick. And I'm still actually going to use this in my drain, so I'm just going to put this aside for a moment here. So back to the sink, we already did our cold side, so we're going to go ahead to the opposite side. There's the water, and there's my antifreeze. So now that we're done with the open part, we're going to make our way into the bathroom and continue. Now we're in the bathroom of the Flying Cloud, and I can start here in the shower, or I could go ahead and flush my commode, but I like to start high to low. So I'm going to do the shower first here, and this has a mixing valve at the handle, so I'm just going to turn it all the way up. There's my antifreeze. I'm going to let this run for a little bit just because I want to thoroughly make sure that it makes its way through the valve. And then we'll go ahead and shut that off. So this will drip for a second, so typically I'll wrap a rag around it or something. But then the next thing we can do here is flush our commode. So I'm going to go ahead, we've got the nice porcelain with the step flush. And now we've supplied antifreeze to our commode as well. We're not quite finished yet. We're actually going to make our way onto the outside of the unit, and you'll see me at the outside shower. So now with the outdoor shower, accessible by 751 key, we have the outdoor shower hose, which I'm just going to hook up real quick out of the way on its little mount here. And I'm going to let that hang while I run hot and cold here. So starting with cold, just letting that clear run till it turns pink. Once it's nice and pink, I'm shutting off the cold, doing the hot. And I want to wait until I see this turn clear, and then it'll turn pink right away. And this kind of happens at the sinks as well, but it's just a little bit more difficult to tell at the outdoor shower. So next I'm going to close this up, but now is actually a good point to tell you you should drain your black and your gray for the winter, as well as open your fresh and let it drain. A lot of time folks will also open their low point drains and open up a few of their outlets to let some of the antifreeze come out the low point drain naturally, but that is up to you. I do like to open them briefly just to have the antifreeze come out and shut them, but if you wanted to leave it completely open and kind of let the air pull everything out, that's up to you. So my final step when I'm completing and I'm disconnecting the line from my pump and reconnecting the original line from the fresh tank, with the pump shut off, I tend to go and I grab my bottle, whatever leftover amounts I have, and I want to go to each drain individually. So kitchen sink, and I have another bottle on this one, so bath sink as well. I would go ahead and take my leftover and I would do the same thing, importantly, with the shower drain. The shower drain I want to give a little extra love because I'm really nervous about all the 90s that are potentially ran in that drain to the gray tank. But once you've used your excess antifreeze on all your drains and you've packed up everything you've taken away, closed up your water heater and your outdoor shower, you've completed your winterization. Remember, every RV system is going to be configured a little bit differently. So if you're unsure about your specific setup, refer to the manufacturer's guidelines or schedule an appointment with our service department today. And just like that, your Airstream Flying Cloud is now winterized. If you'd rather not tackle this process yourself, or you're worried about getting it right, then please don't hesitate to reach out to our service team to book your winterization appointment, and we'll get it done quickly and hassle-free. But thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below which RV you'd like for us to winterize next, and be sure to subscribe so that we can continue bringing you weekly content like this here. And good luck with your winterization and safe travels.